Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Just reflecting, because Allah says everything has its mode of worship. Number 11. Reading the seerah. This is something, we read the Quran, but we should read the seerah also. And in reading the seerah, you start to connect the dots. When something happened with the companions, Allah sent down an ayat. He sent down an ayat. This ayat is in the Quran and the episode is in the seerah. You start to connect the ayat with the seerah, and you start to see how the society was formed and governed. You start to see why did Allah not say no drinking alcohol immediately? He told Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, had I did this, had you been so strict on them, you would have run them away. So Allah, bit by bit, formed our hearts right as the Sahaba's hearts was formed right on La ilaha illallah. They kept their tawheed. And when it came time to give it up, they didn't hesitate. We have to ask ourselves, why do we hesitate? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in place and instructed us, why do we hesitate towards obedience? Whatever it is, then we have to annihilate it. We have to get it out of our way, that it's not affecting our relationship with Allah. You want nothing to affect or infect your relationship with Allah. And I mentioned this last week, but I didn't say it, but I'll bring it forward this week, because I forgot it and remembered when I left. When you go to bed at night, ask yourself, what did I do that Allah should have mercy on me? Today, what did I do? Did I fast? Did I feed the poor? Did I help the needy? Did I go to the graveyard and pray for my brothers and sisters that have just been put into the soil? What did I do today that Allah should have mercy upon me? Did I go to the hospital and visit the sick? Or was I just satisfied getting up being Muslim today? The next question, part 2. How can I improve my relationship with Allah? How do I do it? This is what we're talking about. Things to soften the heart. The how to do. The how to do. So reflecting on the seerah, connecting the dots, understanding the application according to the tabi'een and the tabi'een. Also reading about the bounties and the pleasures of paradise to make you assert yourself to want to attain it. This is heart softeners. And to read about the trial and penalty of the fire, of going to the fire. If this don't soften your heart, subhanallah. Also, something very important. Very important. Remove negativity from your environment, whether internal or external. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a real problem with Washi, the one who threw the spear and killed his uncle Hamza, radiallahu anhu. Washi later on became a Muslim. We say radiallahu anhu for him now. But the Prophet sometimes, he couldn't take it. Washi would come around, he would give the salams. Remember now, he gave his rights. But then he made mention to him, leave from me. Leave from me. He granted him honorable avoidance. Sometimes the Muslims get mad, we hold grudges for years. 3, 4 years, 5 years. Allah said 3 days. But we still walking around with our jaws tight and our chest constricted. How do you intend to soften your heart when these kinds of things are permeating your soul? So get rid of negativity. Get rid of negativity, external and internal. Last thing. Make your marks to achieve nearness to Allah. Strive hard for the nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah makes mention that He is near to you. He's close. He said to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when my servant asks about me, O Muhammad, tell them I am near. In some narrations it mentions that He is near as your jugular vein. Now examine your jugular vein. Is it external or internal? That's how close Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. So we need to make this strive, this attempt to get close to Allah. How do we do it? Well, Allah revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, He says, you come not nigh to Allah except through the obligatory things. The obligatory things being the 5 pillars of Islam. Bunya al-Islam ala khams. Shahadat la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, qabatu salat, wa yutu zakat, sa'um Ramadan, wa tahajjud bayt. These 5 things, this is how you get near to Allah. It said, and if my servant seeks to get closer to me, he comes with the supererogatory things, the voluntary, the nawafil. He said, and he continues to do this until I become his eyes by which he sees, and his hands by which he'll strike, and his feet by which he walk. And he continues to come closer to me. He moves in my direction until I say, I love him. Imagine that. Imagine Allah mentioning you. And He says, Fulan, Fulan, I love you. And He's mentioned, you're mentioned to the universe. The angels say, Allah loves so-and-so. Oh, creation, you love so-and-so too. Subhanallah. So dear beloved Muslims, seek to soften your heart by the remembrance of Allah. And by some of these things that we've indicated, I only gave 14. Some scholars have went up to 70. Some went up to over 100 different heart softeners. You know, but we would be here till Yawm al-Qiyamah. Subhanallah. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? Any suggestions? Please speak forward.
I just want to say that as well, I mean, on the way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're going to have obstacles and stuff. That shouldn't make you turn away. It should rather make you stronger because you defy these obstacles. And I mean, disbelievers, they face obstacles on the way to their achieving their goals, like Donald Trump. They make fun of him every day, right? But he's still going. He doesn't care, right? So we should be, and we have the example of the Prophet.
We should have that kind of determination.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we have the example of the Prophet. We don't need Donald Trump, but that's something we see, right?
No, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair. You know, when you want to strengthen yourself, anybody lift weights in here? Nobody? Okay, we have a weightlifter. When you want to develop more muscle, do you put weight on the bar or take weight off of the bar? You put weight on the bar. Now, this weight becomes a little bit difficult because you increase the pounds. But once you've established a couple of reps, this becomes easy. And now you're moving this weight. So the difficulty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may have in our path from time to time, it's to make us stronger. It's to make us stronger. Allah sometimes wants to see, if I put this difficulty in front of him, where's he going to turn? Who's he going to call on? This happens with sickness, right? People get sick. This happened with accidents. We just saw people falling off bridges overseas. This bridge collapsed. 26 people or something died. This is trial, this is test, this is an obstacle. This is just something that came between you and Allah. Allah says, okay, now you can go over it, you can go under it, you can go around it, you can go through it. I'm on the other side. How do you want to get there? And you develop the technique and the tact in order to achieve your goal by maintaining your task. See, the goal is, again, the pleasure of Allah. The goal is the pleasure of Allah. Any other questions or comments? Sisters from the other side? We good? Alhamdulillah, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You guys pray, Aisha.
One thing about the pure bowl, we're lifting weights, the muscles we talked about. The muscles, when you